Orengo's son, KASmuel Makaule, is coming back to the Gen Zs. Is coming back to do some work for the Gen Zs. I think the day these people, Morara Kabeso and KASmuel Makaule, came out to act like as if they are the leader of the Gen Zs, they lost direction. Let nobody tell you that the Gen Zs stood up against tyranny, against the finance bill because they had leaders. It was spontaneous. These people came out to make the thing, but they ended up making mistakes. So a few days back, Morara Kabeso and KASmuel Makaule came out to again fight, one, the person they impeached, GACHAGUA, two, to fight Ruto. But they are silent against RAILA Amolo Odinga. You clearly see? Okay? We all know that the actual position right now is GACHAGUA. I keep on telling people that when you are fighting a person, the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Right now, anyone who wants Ruto to go, you must not fight GACHAGUA, because GACHAGUA might have a bigger force than what you have if you want to take home Ruto. That's how politics is done. So these young people coming out to say, hey, GACHAGUA must go and Ruto must go. You impeached GACHAGUA. So it's the opposition. In fact, it gives a good opposition than you, the leaders of the Gen Zs. You're not the leaders of the Gen Zs. Gen Zs were spontaneous. Okay? So a few days back, Morara Kabeso and company, KASmuel Makaule, Orengo's son, they came out to say that they are again going to unite to see that they take Ruto home. Trust me, if these people come out to ask for a protest, they will not get the people, because they are not the Gen Z leaders. Before I proceed, I want to play a tape when KASmuel Makaule was saying this. But of course, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Okay, so that I can give you more of this. Listen to this tape before I proceed. Here's the tape.
Because right now we have a man who currently has a case in the appellate court, asking the court to reinstate him to the seat of the government that he is telling us is a very bad government. We were being led by the person who sold your grandmother fake fertilizer, mixed it with sand and cow dung, is the same person who's telling us that they are going to redeem us. The other person in your proposition that you're asking us to support is the person who oversaw the killing of the Kianjokoma twins in 2020. The people who meted out the highest amount of violence to us young people. If you can trust that person, certainly, I think you can and you ought to extend more grace to people who have not been tainted. Nobody here has a corruption case. The worst thing that these young men and women have done here is be so good at what they do that the praying political class has identified their talent. That's all you can blame them. All you can blame Madiba for is for being such an excellent communicator to the point where you thought the government was working. All you can blame anyone here for is excellence. So hold us accountable to that. Because if you try to hold me accountable with a person who's currently telling me to fight for my rights and he looted the country, I think we are being a bit unfair. And that's why we are starting this conversation. It will not be easy.
So that is KASmuel Makaule. First of all, KASmuel, you are forgetting that you are supporting RAILA, who is currently in government. You are not mentioning the name. That's how confused these fellows are. How come you can come and attack GACHAGUA for fighting for his rights to be initiated as deputy president? You talk about Ruto. You forget RAILA, who even sent experts, who is enjoying perks from government. Okay? He even put his niece in government. So these fellows are confused. Okay? For me, if I was these fellows, one, it is very hard for these young people to beat the system. By the systems across the world, if a leader is supposed to be overthrown, it is most likely 99% of the time is someone within the circles. In Kenya, I can take you to history. When Jomo Kenyatta died, who was the next in line? It was Moi. When Moi went, who was next in line? It was Kibaki. Kibaki was already in Moi's government. When Kibaki went, it was Uhuru Kenyatta was in government, both as the leader of opposition and a prime minister. Okay? When Uhuru went, it was Ruto, even when you didn't want him. So if you want to beat the system, many of the cases, the system is eaten by those within the system. These young people, first of all, they are not leaders of the Gen Zs. Trust me. These people, if they called for a protest, no one can follow them. Yet, and I'm not saying that the Gen Zs are not there. The Gen Zs are there. They want change, but they don't see these as leaders. It's the fact. In fact, the person who will have to galvanize the Gen Z support is going to be the president. Right now, although GACHAGUA is playing wrongly, he's a forerunner. RAILA Odinga is still in government, enjoying, but I predict that he will also move out of government when the election is nearing. He will also take a pie. Right now, as it is, even these young people are confused. KASMUEL Makamure, you're already in ODM. ODM is in government with experts. Okay? And you are coming out to lecture us, to lecture GACHAGUA and Ruto. You people are not the leaders of the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs rose up without leadership. It was spontaneous. They had a cause. They never had leadership. You people who are coming out to speak on behalf of the Gen Zs don't know even what the cause is. Look at Morara. Okay? Morara on his own cannot galvanize even in Kisii where he comes from. He may have a good message, but the systems are very hard to beat. Normally the systems are won by those who are in the system. It is sad, but it is true. In all countries, when a leader is overthrown, 99% of the time is someone from within who takes the mantra. And very many people, and I'm not saying that someone from within takes the mantra is bad. Different people have different styles of leadership. Kibaki took over Moi. It was during Kibaki that Kenya became a second world country. So one could come out and argue that since Moi is going, we are part of Moi. No, everyone has his leadership style. So I predict that Ruto, of course, is going to be defeated. I see that coming. It is true. But the person to defeat Ruto is either GACHAGUA, if he's given a green light to run, or maybe RAILA Odinga. I know RAILA Odinga will storm out of government when the elections are near. Of course, that's my opinion. Do make comments by commenting about this. Thank you very much for listening in. If this is your first time on the YouTube channel, employee would subscribe, like, and comment so that I can be motivated to do more of such videos. I'll see you on another one. Peace.